I'll wait a few moments for some people to get on here, and then we're going to go into it. Big news. Sorry, my asthma's acting up. All right, here we go. Hey, how's it going? If you are watching, listen, leave some comments below if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. We are going to be talking about some big news when it comes to Maryland law and SB1, which is set to go into effect this Sunday, October 1st. If you have any questions, if you have any comments or concerns, put them in the comments below. Or if you just want to say hi. If you can, put something. At least put something in the comments. Just let me know you're here. Because every time you comment, every time you hit that thumbs up button, somebody did it already. Somebody hit the thumbs up button. When you comment and you hit the thumbs up button, that helps more people find this video. That helps more people realize that we're on live. That helps share this information. Because I'm not sure if you know this, right? But YouTube's not very gun friendly. They're not friendly to people like myself who teach people about their rights and how they can legally exercise their rights. So this information is going to be stifled by YouTube. Right? I don't even try to do this shit on Facebook anymore because they are horrible about it. So, but hit that thumbs up button for me and comment below here, and I'll address any questions or needs a response. I will address that at each stoplight that I reach. I'm not going to try to read it too much while I'm driving. Alright, so I'll go and get started, and for those who pop in a little late, they can go back and re-watch this. So, actually we're getting a red light, so I'm going to address some of these comments that might be down below, and then I'll get into it. Again, if you haven't commented, if you hit that thumbs up button, do both those. Hit the thumbs up button and comment below. Just something. Just let me know you're breathing, where you're watching from. Let me know if you're a past client, if you're not. Just let me know. Let's see. Sir, Horse or B. Horst, love from PG County. I'm actually in PG County right now. What am I doing? I'm passing Beach Tree down here, and this is like Upper Marlboro area. Coming from a class we just got finished in Annapolis. Howdy from Charles. What's going on? Shadow Hybrid. Terry Miller, what's going on, boss? October 1st is Sunday, bro. October 1st is Sunday. Let's see. George Chester here, watching from Edgewater. Cool. Hey, so keep on commenting, keep on hitting that thumbs up button. And if you have any questions about what I'm going over, go ahead and put them in the comments as you think of them, and I'll address them as I see them at different red lights. So, I haven't got a chance to look at it thoroughly, so I will be doing a follow-up video probably tomorrow. Okay, I'll try to do a follow-up video tomorrow to clarify anything that I find in my research. I'm going to go through the documents and read it thoroughly and try to make sure I'm passing along good, solid, reputable information. But to break it down Barney style, I'm going to take this gum out of my mouth. It's going to get annoying. So, if you don't know, if you haven't seen, there has been an injunction granted regarding some of the lawsuits against the state of Maryland. So, let me break this down for you in layman's terms, because it can be confusing. To be clear, I'm not a lawyer. I don't claim to be. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm just trying to break this down in the best way possible for you to understand what's going on and how it affects you and your ability to exercise your Second Amendment right. So, Maryland has passed several laws doing many things. What are these people doing? Is there road rage? What the hell? They have passed several laws doing many things that are going to infringe on your ability to exercise your Second Amendment right. All right. Last year, June 23rd, 2022, a date which will live in infamy amongst Democrats, the Supreme Court stated that what Maryland and other states were doing, right, it was actually specifically a New York case, but it translated over to Maryland too, where they would discriminate many Marylanders and those outside of Maryland carry a handgun. They have firearms and they are selling it back to you, and they're only selling it back to certain people who seem worthy. Without that, literally over 100,000 permits to Marylanders and non-Marylanders like myself alike to be able to carry a handgun in Maryland, open and or concealed. Well, Maryland Democrats up in Annapolis said, no. You know what? We will oblige the Supreme Court. We will issue permits, but we're going to make it as ridiculous as possible for you to be able to actually exercise that ability. We are going to make it so that essentially you can't. Well, as soon as Governor Westmore signed those laws into effect, lawsuits were put into place, and they are challenging the constitutionality of these laws and what they're doing. All right. The Supreme Court, it hasn't gotten decided by any of the courts yet. If it's, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm like burping, I'm sneezing, I'm itching my nose. I apologize. I'm just usually it's my time to myself where I get to regather myself after a class and drink my drink and pick my nose and cough and sneeze and whatever I got to do. So I apologize. But the courts have not ruled on this at all. But what can happen is again, in a lawsuit like this, the plaintiffs, they can say, hey, until you decide on this matter, can you put a pause on this? Can you say, hey, pause, you cannot enforce this law until this court decides? And that pause on the law is referred to as an injunction. So it's not saying that the law is unconstitutional or not. It's just saying, hey, until the courts decide, we're going to go ahead and put a pause on that law. Keep on doing what you're doing, Marylanders and non-Marylanders like myself. Keep doing what you're doing, and if we decide if it is constitutional, then at that point in time you'll have to follow the law. Or they could rule that it's unconstitutional and say, hey, you can continue to ignore this stupid ass law. They don't often issue injunctions, especially they don't issue injunctions, the pause, they don't issue injunctions if they're going to find it constitutional in the end. What has happened is they have granted an injunction. Now, I have to read the injunction, I have to read the order and see how far that injunction goes. But after a quick glance, what it appears is they've put an injunction on only certain parts of the law. So, if you haven't already, go to our YouTube here and watch Maryland law. After this is all said and done, watch my 2023 version of Maryland law. That explains to you all about Maryland firearms laws as they would have been on October 1st. And then when you're done watching that, know that, and again, I'm going to do further research and just get this in concrete, but it appears that the part of the law that says that you cannot carry somewhere, whether commercial or residential, without permission, that part of the law is getting a pause. The part of the law that says you cannot carry somewhere that sells alcohol, like liquor stores or restaurants, that part of the law is also being paused. And the part of the law that says you cannot carry at a public demonstration, that's getting a pause. Open carry, it appears, is still going to be illegal after October 1st. Carrying at a private school after October 1st, it appears it's still going to be illegal. But again, you can, after October 1st, it appears that you can still carry at places, whether commercial or residential. You can still carry at those places, right, without permission. You can still carry at bars or restaurants or liquor stores where alcohol is sold. And you can still carry at a public demonstration. It appears that on its face. Again, I'm going to go and I'm going to read the injunction in depth. I'm going to get this concreted, but that's what it appears at a first glance. Come back here on YouTube tomorrow or even Sunday, and I should have a new video clarifying exactly what the injunction says in layman's terms. All right, as best as possible. I'll try to dumb it down as best as possible. All right, as I'm talking, as I finish up here, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if I wasn't clear maybe on something, all right, go ahead and put in the comments below and I'll address those. I'm at a red light now. I'm going to hit some of these now. Jonathan Marsh, ever since I found out about the law, I've been afraid to bring my friend out of the house. That is exactly what the Democrats in Annapolis wanted. And I try not to talk about politicians or parties too much, but look, it is what it freaking is. All right? If you are offended by the fact, if you're offended by the reality that Democrats in Annapolis did this, then I'm not offending you. They and their actions are what are offending you. And you should be calling them. You should be emailing them. You should be texting them. Whatever you got to do. And let them know, you idiot. I didn't realize you did this. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to my rights? What are you doing here? This is ignorant. All right? Because, God forbid, this law is found to be constitutional, and it does go into effect. Right? The only way at that point we have to fix this is to have the politicians here pass a new bill unraveling the bullshit they did with these laws. And the only way we're going to stop them from doing more bullshit in the future is if we voice our opinions, especially if you voted for them. Because guess what? If you didn't vote for them, if you're, a Republican or a Libertarian and stuff, they don't give a shit about what you think. They don't give a shit. But guess what? If you voted for them and you're not going to vote for them next time, they lose that vote that they already have, and that makes their next campaign that much harder. They might actually give a shit if enough people are voicing that opinion. All right? But long story short, get back to it. Democrats passed these bills saying, screw you. Screw every single one of you that carries a gun or thinks that is acceptable. Screw you. Screw your rights. And now deal with this stupid ass law. I'm going to make your life hell. I'm going to make sure that you either don't exercise your rights, or if you do get caught exercising them, we're going to strip you of your rights. We're going to send you to jail. We're going to deplete your bank accounts because you're going to be paying good-ass lawyers good-ass money to keep you out of jail for having exercised your rights. I think it's bullshit what they did. And it sounds like the courts are agreeing. Because, again, they don't offer injunctions to some bullshit cases that have no basis. So this is a very good sign that we may never have to deal with those parts of that law. And this is a very, very good sign. All right? Again, as I'm talking stuff, put your comments or put your concerns, put your questions in the comments below, and I'll hit those up next time I get to a red light. All right? I try not to, read my phone while I'm driving on the road. Try not to do that too much. Obviously, I'm doing a quick glance right now, whatever. That's not going to do shit, but I'm having a conversation with you right now. I'm not reading a book. I'm not putting on makeup or anything like that. Left here off of 301 onto Croom Station. By the way, if you guys are going to the Orioles game tonight, I'll be there tonight. My wife and kids, we're about to get loaded up and go. All right, so I'm at the red light now. Let's see. Terry Miller said, sorry, I was looking at November. No worries, I get you. No, trust me, I've been looking, not forward in a good way, but I've been looking towards this date and this, this horrible milestone. I've been looking, towards that for months now. A lot of people have. So that's the only reason why I definitively, confidently said, no, it's Sunday. We know. So, see, almost watching from Carroll County. Shadow hybrid breaking up real bad as you go on. Yes, Brandy, FPC, Firearms Policy Coalition. Look, people, look, ladies and gentlemen, if you are not members of Firearms Policy Coalition, and or you should be both, Maryland shall issue, go to their website right now and become a member. All right? They need power. They need money. They need membership. They need you to help them fight against these unconstitutional laws. That's who's fighting these laws on our behalf. All right, Marylanders and non-Marylanders alike. I'm a Marylander at heart, but legally speaking, I'm a Virginia resident. I evacuated Maryland, almost a decade ago. January would be a decade. I evacuated Maryland. I am still a taxpayer, though. I may not be a legal resident and or a voter, but I am a taxpayer. I've been paying taxes the entire time I've been in business with PTP, because while I am a Virginia resident, I'm in Virginia business, because we do business in Maryland, we have to pay income tax on that that we do in Maryland. So yes, I'm not a voter, yes, I'm not a resident, but I am a taxpayer and I am a permit holder. I am a gun owner. I am an American, and I share many of the same concerns that you do, and I hold, I'm very principled on this shit. I hate this stuff. I am such a, holds the Constitution so close to his heart, so dear, what an asshole. But I am such a constitutionalist, and hold the Second Amendment in such high regards. I don't think you should be required to have my training. I don't think you should have to have a license in order to buy a handgun or even carry a handgun. Training's great, and I love doing it for a living, but you shouldn't be required to have it. What good is it? How good is a service if you have to be required to have it? Just like in insurance and stuff. If insurance is so good, why should I be forced to have it? Why? Because insurance companies have a lot of money to pay lobbyists, and lobbyists have a lot of money to pay politicians, and politicians don't give a shit about any of us, left or right, Republicans or Democrats. None of them give a shit about us. Let me be clear on that, though. All right, I am a bipartisan, disgruntled taxpayer, and Logan, can you still possess? There was no new laws when it came to that this year. There's nothing that you need to worry about on that. There's no injunctions. There's no lawsuits. There's no bills. You can still own, possess, and use and carry magazines that hold more than 10 rounds. There's no limit to what size magazine you own, possess, carry, shoot with. But you cannot buy, sell, manufacture, transfer, offer for sale, or receive a magazine that has a capacity for more than 10 rounds. But you can go to Virginia and buy them and bring them right back. Now, I will say that actually, there's a whole separate case regarding that over in California that is on its way up through the courts up to eventually the Supreme Court. And if that goes the way I think it's probably going to go, the way it appears to be going, because they actually keep on finding that magazine ban in California to be unconstitutional, but they keep on appealing it to higher and higher courts. That law in Maryland may actually go away too because of California. All right, so be on the lookout for that. That might take another 6 months to a year, but that's in the pipeline. That is coming down the pipeline. I believe it's going to be found unconstitutional too. But yes, you can still own them, possess them, and carry a magazine that holds more than 10 rounds in Maryland. There's no limit. You can carry a Glock 17 with a 33-round magazine in it, sticking out like by 4 or 5 inches. Perfectly legal in Maryland. All right. Let's see. Terry says, even though there's a pause, something tells me the fees still go into effect. Yes, there has been no pause on the fees. So yes, on Sunday, it'll cost you an additional $25 to apply for your HQL, so a total of $75 in order to apply for your HQL. It'll cost you an additional $50 for a total of $125. It'll cost you $125 to apply for your Maryland Maryland carry permit, which is actually really called the Maryland Handgun permit. Yeah, those fees are still going up, as it appears, right? It appears there's no injunction on that. It appears that that is still going into place on October 1st, on Sunday. So if you are about to apply for your HQL or your carry, you have everything you need to do it, submit that shit now. You have about 30 hours left to apply for those and not be price gouged even more. Even more. All right. So when Devin Bailey says, so when does the injunction go into effect? Right now, the injunction goes into effect right now. So when that law goes into effect, because there's lots of parts of the law. When that law goes into effect, those parts that I pointed out earlier in the video, about 5-10 minutes ago, those parts, those will not go into effect. There's a pause on those. So the injunction is immediately. The injunction has been granted immediately. All right. So again, the law hasn't even gone into effect, and we've already got an injunction beforehand, which is good. That means we're never going to be affected by it to start off. All right. So we'll see in the long term. But honestly, this is a good, very good sign. This is a sign that they're probably going to find it unconstitutional and throw it out. So, but don't worry. Don't worry, taxpayers. Maryland taxpayers, do not worry, because Attorney General Anthony Brown will still continue to waste millions and millions of your taxpayer dollars to defend this unconstitutional law in the courts. Even though he knows it's unconstitutional, and the courts have already shown that they believe that same thing, he is still going to waste millions of dollars to fight this. Oh, you want your rights? Nope, he's going to fight tooth and nail and use all your money, not his money, no, your money. He's going to use your money to fight fight on behalf of these unconstitutional bills tooth and nail. You best believe that. You need to call his office too and tell him to shut his mouth and sit back and let this shit be fixed. Get these laws thrown the frick out. I'm trying to watch my cussing, I'm sorry. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Be on the lookout for a new video tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some research over the next 24 or so hours, and I'm going to post a new video, clearly defining the entirety of the injunction and confirming or clarifying what I spoke on here in this video. And if you tuned in a little late, not the end of the world. I'm about to end the video. Go back once I post it, which would be almost immediately. Go back in a couple minutes and watch the video starting about 5 to 7 minutes into the video. Go back and watch and listen to what the injunction is granting. There has been an injunction, but only on certain parts of the law, it appears. And so you need to watch that. And if you haven't done so already, and even if you have, go back, go to our YouTube channel, and also watch Maryland Firearms Laws 2023. All right, that'll tell you about all the changes that are coming, as well as the things that are being in the injunction. So appreciate you guys. Stay safe. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. There appears to be brighter days on the horizon. All right, the courts are doing their job. They are putting these politicians in their place. They're putting the House of Delegates. They're putting your senators. They're putting our governor of Maryland. They're putting them in their place and saying, sit your ass back and watch us free your voters. Watch us free your taxpayers. Watch us free your visitors. Because there are a lot of people who are not voters, who are not taxpayers, who are not residents, but who live in neighboring states and have their permits, and they come here too, and these laws are affecting them. This is an American issue. This is not a Maryland issue. This is an American issue. Appreciate you guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.